Now on NBC Palm Springs at 11 o'clock, what we're learning about a fatal shooting in Palm Springs that claimed the lives of 2 people. Tennis Paradise returns. We'll take you to Indian Wells for this year's BMP Paribas Open. The events of the season was held at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens tonight. We'll take you there.
We're tracking record-breaking heat, but the good news, dramatic cool down on the way. Your NBC Palm Springs starts now.
Now, connecting the valley, this is NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to have you here on this Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Mark Mester. The United States and Israel launched new airstrikes against Iran, and today officials confirm there have been U.S. fatalities. It's tonight's top story. Congress returns tomorrow, and a White House official confirms lawmakers will get the first set of briefings on Tuesday, as some lawmakers call for a vote to force the president to get congressional approval before any further action. NBC's Chris Pallone has the details tonight from our nation's capital.
Explosions rock cities across the Mideast Sunday as Iran responds to the continuing U.S. and Israeli strikes which started Saturday, killing Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and several other top Iranian leaders. In a new video Sunday afternoon, President Trump confirming 3 American service members in Kuwait died in one of those Iranian counterstrikes.
And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
Iranian sources not confirmed by NBC News say more than 160 people died in a strike on a school. On Capitol Hill, Democrats and Republicans split on Operation Epic Fury.
But as President Trump said, this is a chance for the Iranian people to rise up and to reclaim their freedom and to chart their own destiny.
Khamenei was a brutal dictator, but Americans are not safer today.
Democrats calling the airstrikes an illegal war and now pushing for Congress to pass a war powers resolution to force the president to get their approval for further action.
I think it is incumbent that the President of the United States comes before the American people and the Congress and makes the case of why he has chosen to go to war at this point.
There will be no American boots on the ground. This is not Iraq. This is not Germany. This is not Japan.
President Trump telling the Daily Mail he expects U.S. involvement to last about 4 weeks. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
And with that, Iranian Americans have taken to the streets and cities across this country to call for Iranian freedom. This is video from a demonstration in Los Angeles today. As you can see, thousands gathered near the federal building in Westwood, marching with a giant Iranian flag. Organizers with the group Answer, that's Act Now to Stop War and End Racism, have designated tomorrow as a national day of action, with demonstrations scheduled in at least 33 cities, following a series of emergency rallies. Oil prices were up sharply as market trading started today, while military around the Persian Gulf reverberates through the supply chain. Traders are betting the supply coming from Iran and elsewhere in the Middle East will slow down or stop after the U.S. and Israeli military began hammering Iran with missile strikes over the weekend. The attacks and retaliation throughout the region have restricted the ability to export oil to the rest of the world, most notably on 2 vessels traveling through the Strait of Hormuz. That's the world's most important potential choke point. An estimated 20% of the world's oil is shipped through the strait, which is the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf, at a rate of 15 million barrels per day. Energy experts say prolonged attacks will likely lead to higher prices for crude oil and gasoline. American oil is trading 8% higher. That's compared to Friday's close. 8 OPEC countries said today they would boost production to help stabilize the market. Authorities continue to investigate a fatal shooting in Palm Springs that killed 2 people. It happened overnight Saturday in the 19,400 block of North Indian Canyon Drive. Officers with Palm Springs police found 2 adult victims with gunshot wounds. They were transported to the hospital, where they were later pronounced. Investigators say a motorcycle club was hosting a private event at an industrial complex when an altercation occurred. That's what led up to the gunfire.
We spent most of the evening and into the latter part of today collecting evidence at the scene, where there's still the location that we're processing for evidence, and as you can see in the back that we're trying to collect some of the vehicles that we're securing as evidence. We're just seeking the public's help, so if they have any information related to this incident, we ask that they contact the Palm Springs Police Department, or they could report that anonymously through 760-341-STOP.
3 other individuals suffered non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. They were transported to the hospital for treatment. At this time, detectives are working to determine the circumstances surrounding the shooting and identify those involved. Also, the Palm Springs Police Department announcing their Behind the Badge open house, which was scheduled for Saturday, had to be rescheduled to a further date because of the shooting. Palm Springs Police Chief Andy Mills stating in a Facebook post that due to this critical incident, resources are stretched. The team spearheading this event says they're working on selecting a new date, and they'll share it with the community as soon as it's confirmed. Let's take a break from the headlines. We're going to check on the forecast. We have live pictures right now from our Agua Caliente casino camera, high above right there in Rancho Mirage. Before we get to the forecast, we wanted to tell you about this. The South Coast Air Quality Management District has issued a wind-blown dust advisory today for the Coachella Valley. It took effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon. It will be in place until at least early Tuesday. Residents are advised to limit outdoor activity. Now here's Kai.
Well, it's the end of the weekend, the start of a new month, but we are still experiencing the same record-breaking heat. Today here on the valley floor, we saw a high of 97 in Palm Desert. These temperatures are about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Joshua Tree, low 80s, Big Bear City, low 60s, and in Cabazon, we're looking at the mid 80s. Now, this record-breaking heat not only impacting us here on the valley floor, but across Southern California and our friends up in Idyllwild as well. When it comes to that air quality, we're looking at good conditions here on the valley floor with parts of the IEOCLA moderate conditions, and that's an improvement from yesterday. Low temps tonight, Big Bear City drops down to 37 degrees. Cabazon, low 60s. Up the hill, Joshua Tree, mid 50s. And we do get somewhat relief here on the valley floor. We're looking at mid to low 60s. As for that future wind potential, we will see temperatures drop tomorrow, but when the temperatures drop, the winds are picking up Monday. Whitewater Desert Hot Spring could see gusts nearly 40 miles an hour. High temperatures not only here on the valley floor, but across the country. San Francisco, low 60s. Our friends in Seattle, high 50s. Denver, the mile-high city, 66 degrees. In Phoenix, our friend Tiani now working out there. We're looking at the low 90s. For tonight's evening stroll forecast, 6 o'clock, just under 90 degrees. 10 o'clock, just under 80. And at midnight, we're still in the mid 70s. For tomorrow, we got 70s and 80s on the board. Palm Springs just under 90 degrees. We're looking at 76 in Yucca and Idyllwild, 67 degrees. 3-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. We're back in the 90s to start the work week. Those temperatures do start to drop. The winds start to pick up. As for those overnight lows, we're looking at high 50s, low 60s. Full forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, our thanks to Kai for that. The weather is perfect for a tennis tournament. The BNP Paribas Open is now back underway over at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. The 2-week tournament started today with the women's qualifying event. The men's qualifying starts tomorrow, and we've got the first round of tournament play expected on Wednesday. We'll have much more coverage on this event coming up all throughout this week, so stay tuned. Some of the sights and sounds from the Zubilee over at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens in Palm Desert tonight. The gala that you're looking at right now is the largest fundraising event of the season. Funds raised from the evenings of fair and auction bring the wonders of the desert to life, and they also help tell the stories of some of the world's most endangered species. Tonight's event emceed by our very own Mary Strong this evening. A free healthcare clinic wrapped up in Indio this weekend, serving thousands. California Care Force hosted its 17th annual healthcare clinic over at the Empire Polo Grounds in Indio. It started Friday, it ended today. The event was in partnership with Golden Voice. Services included dental, vision, and medical services. Officials say more than 3,500 people attended this weekend. There was also this. Hundreds gathered for the 8th annual Run Walk for Kids event. It's on behalf of the Desi Strong Foundation in Rancho Mirage. Participants got up bright and early at Rancho Mirage Community Park for the family-friendly event, which included a 5K. You could see some of the participants there just a moment ago in the wash. The Desi Strong Foundation aims to cure pediatric cancer and other serious illnesses. If you're someone who's looking for a tail-wagging deal for you and your dog, listen up tonight. A Palm Springs restaurant has a happy hour that's budget-friendly for the whole pack. We've got Kai the Deal Guy tonight. He's going to show us the discounts and dog-friendly vibes over at Booze Hounds as they serve up serious savings for pet parents and their pups.
Booze Hounds is the place where dogs bring their humans for great deals on food and drinks.
We just want people to have fun, have a good time and, do it on an affordable price.
General Manager Jake Lemon says happy hour runs every day from 3 to 5. With a menu featuring all kinds of discounts. From full meals to light bites, classic cocktails to craft beers.
We think it's a really great opportunity to give back to the locals and people who are just wanting to come in and have a good drink at a great price.
Customers are calling it one of the best values in the Coachella Valley.
So much value. The ambiance, the setting, and the quality of the handmade cocktails.
And these deals aren't just for humans. The staff takes pride in catering to pets too. So every Thursday, they're hosting Howling Happy Hour, where all doggy menu items are half off.
I love it. She loves nothing more than the attention and the food. So we ordered the spinach bites, which came recommended by the bartender, so I think she's gonna love them.
Located at the north end of downtown Palm Springs, Booze Hounds offers a unique, pet-friendly atmosphere where great prices and good company go hand in paw.
All right, our thanks to Kai Beach for that. We've got more headlines to come here on this Sunday evening. Still ahead, a mass shooting at a popular entertainment district. We have the latest tonight from investigators. And then later, from the world stage to the SNL stage, Team USA Hockey with a cameo on Saturday Night Live. We've got more in our entertainment report. But first tonight, speaking of Saturday Night Live, not far from where it's filmed every Saturday, we have live pictures from Manhattan. That's, of course, Lower Manhattan, a little bit far from Uptown, 30 Rockefeller Center, where they normally host SNL. We've got more headlines and your full 7-day weather forecast still to come this evening. We'll be right back.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11.
3 people are dead, 14 others recovering after a gunman opened fire in Austin, Texas's 6th Street Bar District. It's some of the headlines we're following across the country tonight. The gunman has been identified as a 53-year-old from Senegal. That's according to sources familiar with the investigation. He's among the 3 people who were pronounced dead outside of Buford's Bar. The FBI is investigating the shooting as a possible act of terrorism. It started just before 2 a.m. as officers were called to reports of a man with a gun in the city's entertainment district. Witnesses say the gunman fired out of the SUV window right on the patio of Buford's, and then he got out of the truck and was shot by police.
We know that a vehicle, a large SUV, drove several times around the block in that area. At one point, he put his flashers on, rolled down his window, and began using a pistol shooting out of his car windows striking patrons of the bar that were on the patio and that were in front of the bar.
Officials say the SUV was searched. It was not found to be carrying explosives, but special agents say indications inside the SUV and on the suspect link him to possible terrorism. Police say the pre-deployment of officers in the area for the weekend saved lives, and the threat was neutralized within minutes of the report of gunfire. Turning to a local alert, LGBT Plus Days is coming to Cathedral City this week. Volunteers spent this weekend doing what you're looking at. They refreshed the rainbow crossing right in front of City Hall. This is the 10th annual Cathedral City LGBT Plus Days festivities. It includes a pro rally, the raising of the pride flag over at City Hall, and there's even a drone show this year.
Painting our crosswalk is a visible demonstration of inclusivity in Cathedral City, and when other cities and states are painting over their rainbow crosswalks, we can proudly paint ours and declare our pride and our inclusivity for everybody in Cathedral City all year long.
LGBT Plus Days runs from March 6th through March 8th. A local nonprofit is celebrating 26 years of serving our community. Tonight, we are learning more about Paws and Hearts. They're an animal-assisted therapy program that brings trained dogs into health centers all across the Coachella Valley. Our Kai Beach tonight with that story.
If you love dogs and you can no longer take care of one and you're bedbound,
Dealing with medical challenges isn't easy, but Richard Waxman and his dog Terry
he actually trains the new volunteers.
are turning compassion into action. Waxman founded the nonprofit Paws and Hearts in 2000. Since then, it's grown into a valley-wide animal-assisted therapy program with trained handlers and their dogs visiting patients to bring comfort, connection, and joy when it's needed most.
We were on a visit last week, and a dear old woman said to me, "You made my day." It makes everything we do and all the volunteers we've had, it makes it worth our while.
Now this nonprofit is looking for more volunteers, people like Sandy Young.
It's just a really good way to connect with people and to bring some joy into their lives, I think. It's good for bonding with your dog.
Who says this experience has been life-changing for both patients and the volunteers who serve them.
People tell me how grateful they are, how it's made their day. I had one woman say, "You made my waiting today bearable." So, you know, those things warm my heart and make my day.
To learn more, visit their website and discover how you and your dog can make a difference.
It makes them feel as though they've accomplished something. It makes them feel as though we've given back to the community. It makes us feel as though our time to get there and to put the dog in the bandana, to put the volunteer shirt on, it just makes it all worthwhile.
I'm Kai Beach with NBC Palm Springs.
Our thanks to Kai for that. Live pictures tonight from our Agua Caliente Casino camera, high above right there in downtown Palm Springs. Starting a new work week tomorrow. For details on the forecast, including that all-important 7-day. We've got details on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be right back. you didn't get the news on late Friday, it's this. Jackie, the Big Bear Eagle, has laid her second egg of her second clutch on Friday. These are live pictures up in Big Bear right now. You can see Jackie's doing her best to cover those 2 eggs now, and boy, are those conditions windy. This eagle has always laid her eggs 3 days apart, so if we're in store for a third egg, probably expect it sometime tomorrow. So we're going to be watching. If anything changes, we'll be, of course, the first to let you know. And from that to this, live pictures right now from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera there in Rancho Mirage. Gorgeous shot of the river. Nice still conditions, not a whole lot of wind, at least not in Rancho Mirage. Could be different, though, for other parts of the Coachella Valley. For details on the forecast, we're going to send things over to our Kai Beach.
It's the start of March, but it feels like the dog days of summer. We're seeing record-breaking heat over the last few days. Today's high, 96 degrees. That beats the previous record of 93 degrees, and it's about 20 degrees above normal for this time of year. The good news, dry heat. 10% humidity over the next few days. High temperatures today, just under triple digits here on the valley floor. Joshua Tree, low 80s. Big Bear City, low 60s. In Idlewild, they're getting up there. They saw record-breaking heat yesterday. Today, 68 degrees. Tonight, temperatures drop. Big Bear City, 37 degrees. Idlewild, 47. Up the hill, 29 Palms. Thanks for the service. Just under 60 degrees. And on the valley floor, we're looking around mid-60s. Now, we do see heat exhaustion, heat stroke happening during these conditions, so best call 911 if you're experiencing any of these symptoms. Windy week ahead. We're going to see wind gusts nearly 40 miles an hour as we start the work week. Temperatures drop, winds, those go up. As for tomorrow's morning walk forecast, 6 o'clock, wear a light jacket. We're looking at mid-60s. By 10 o'clock, just under 80 degrees, and at noon, we are in the 80s. High temps for tomorrow, Palm Springs, we're looking at mid-80s. You head to the coast, you will feel some relief. We're looking at high 60s. The waves out there will be building by midweek, 3 to 4 feet. Have some fun out there. Monday, we start to cool off. Dramatic cool down. We're just under triple digits. As we head into the work week, those temperatures will drop. The reason why, that high pressure system, that starts to weaken as we head into the work week. 7-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Back in the 80s, and take a look at next Sunday, back in the 70s. That's what we're looking for. Those overnight lows go from 60s to low 50s.
Palm Springs Sports, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
The Desert Hot Springs High School girls varsity basketball team wrapped up their season on Saturday with a second-place finish over at CIF. The Golden Eagles lost to Sierra Vista. Final score was 52-42 in what was a historic season. This was the team's first year to ever reach the semis and finals, and it came after starting the season 0-8.
Saleh to win it for Coachella Valley. In on Tompkins. He scores!
Saleh, as you saw right there, with a shootout goal to win it in overtime over at Acrisure Arena last night against the Bakersfield Condors. Final score was 3-2 on what was cancer night at the arena. Firebirds now head to Nevada on Wednesday, where they're going to play the Henderson Silver Knights. They're back home next Saturday to host the Calgary Wranglers. That's on Saturday, and then again on Sunday for a matinee. You can watch all our home games on our sister station. That's KPSE, My Firebirds TV.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
And the actor goes to Catherine O'Hara, the studio.
The Actor Awards, formerly known as the SAG Awards, were held in Hollywood tonight. You just saw one of the more emotional moments where late actor Catherine O'Hara was posthumously awarded the Best Female Actor in a Comedy Series for her role in the television show The Studio, which airs on Apple TV+. One of the show's creators, Seth Rogen, as you can see him right there, accepted the award in her honor. Other big winners for tonight, Jessie Buckley for Hamlet, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. Tonight is the last award show before the Academy Awards. The 98th Oscars are 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be right back. All right, finally tonight, the River and Rancho Mirage has announced their calendar of events for the month of March. Events include the Palm Springs Cruise and Car Show. That's March 7th. We've got the Glow and Grow Market, which supports women-owned businesses, on March 28th, and the sound bath and yoga event known as Soulful Sunday on the 29th, happening right there at the River in Rancho Mirage. We're out of time, but I'll be right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.